Hello guys, welcome back to my channel.
He's one of the most powerful and misunderstood figures in American history. A man whose name alone sparks debate, Malcolm X.
Was he a radical who preached hate, or a revolutionary who demanded justice?
The truth is far more complex and compelling. To understand him, we have to go back to the beginning. Born Malcolm Little in 1925, his early life was shattered by racial violence.
His father, a black nationalist preacher, was killed under suspicious circumstances, likely by white supremacists.
His mother was later institutionalized, and the family was torn apart by racism and poverty. These early traumas planted a deep-seated distrust of American institutions that would define his life.
He later said, "I am a part of all that I have met." As a young man, Malcolm's path took a sharp turn.
A teacher told him his dream of becoming a lawyer was no realistic goal for a Negro crushed. He dropped out of school and fell into a life of crime in Boston and Harlem. Hustling, theft, and drugs eventually landed him in prison at the age of 20. But for Malcolm, prison wasn't an end. It was a profound beginning. Behind bars, he devoured books, educating himself with a ferocious hunger for knowledge.
It was here he discovered the Nation of Islam, a black nationalist movement. He converted, rejected what he called his slave name Little, and adopted the X to symbolize the last African identity of his ancestors.
Prison transformed the street hustler into a disciplined, intellectual revolutionary. Upon his release, Malcolm X rose with astonishing speed. He became the national spokesperson for the Nation of Islam, his electrifying speeches captivating audiences across the country. His voice, sharp and unflinching, articulated the anger and pride of black Americans who felt ignored by the mainstream civil rights movement. During this era, he advocated for black self-respect, economic independence, and separation from what he saw as an inherently oppressive white society.
He famously declared, "We didn't land on Plymouth Rock.
Plymouth Rock landed on us." Malcolm fiercely challenged the doctrine of nonviolence, not because he loved violence, but because he rejected submission. He argued that black people had a fundamental right to defend themselves by any means necessary against racial terror. For him, freedom wasn't something to be politely requested from the oppressor.
It was a right to be claimed. So what truly drove this man? At his core, Malcolm was fueled by a burning rage against injustice, a profound love for black dignity, and an uncompromising quest for truth, no matter how uncomfortable. He wanted to build global black unity.
And unlike many leaders who present a polished image, Malcolm evolved in public.
He wasn't afraid to admit when he was wrong, and his thinking was always in motion.
By 1964, that constant evolution led to a dramatic break with the Nation of Islam. Malcolm had grown disillusioned with the moral hypocrisy of its leadership and frustrated by its refusal to engage in political action. He wanted to take the fight for black liberation to the global stage, not remain isolated.
Leaving the nation was a dangerous move.
He lost their protection and immediately became a target, receiving constant death threats.
This break, however, made him far more dangerous to the established power structures. He was no longer bound by any single organization. Shortly after, Malcolm embarked on a pilgrimage to Mecca for the Hajj, a journey that would trigger another monumental shift in his worldview. He witnessed Muslims of all races, white, black, brown, worshipping together as equals. He wrote, "I have eaten from the same plate, drunk from the same glass, with people whose eyes were the bluest of blue." This experience didn't soften his condemnation of racism, but it broadened his perspective. He began to frame the struggle not just as a civil rights issue, but as a human rights issue.
He wanted to take America's race problem to the United Nations, holding the country accountable on an international stage.
He was becoming more strategic, more global, and more inclusive. In his final year, Malcolm's vision crystallized. He founded two new organizations, Muslim Mosque Incorporated and the Secular Organization of Afro-American Unity.
He advocated for black self-determination, political education, and economic empowerment, while he still believed in self-defense when necessary. His focus was on building power and creating alliances.
He was uniting Africans on the continent with the African diaspora, building a global front against oppression. This is why he was assassinated.
On February 21, 1965, while speaking in Harlem, Malcolm X was gunned down.
He was only 39 years old. Officially, members of the Nation of Islam were convicted, but later evidence revealed wrongful convictions, shocking surveillance failures by the FBI and NYPD, and a strong possibility of government complicity. Malcolm was killed because he was a threat to everyone in power. He challenged white supremacy, liberal hypocrisy, and even black complacency. He refused to be controlled, and he was building global alliances that frightened the U.S. government. Malcolm X wasn't killed for hating. He was killed for his clarity and his courage. His death sent a shockwave through Black America. The immediate goal was to silence radical thought, but in the long run, it had the opposite effect. Malcolm's ideas became even more influential after his death. He inspired the Black Power movement and the Black Panther Party. His autobiography became required reading for a generation of activists. He shifted the entire conversation from just integration to self-determination and pride. America feared Malcolm X when he was alive, but his memory became essential. Let's clear up some common myths. The idea that Malcolm X hated all white people is a simplification. He hated oppression, and he saw it being carried out by a white power structure. He didn't reject unity. He rejected submission. He didn't promote random violence. He promoted self-defense against violence. And the idea that he never changed is completely false. His entire life was a story of constant public evolution. In the end, Malcolm X was a mirror that America refused to look into. He was a leader who grew in front of the world, a revolutionary who valued truth more than his own safety. He was assassinated at the very moment his power and vision were reaching their peak. He once said, "If you're not ready to die for it, put the word freedom out of your vocabulary." Malcolm X didn't die as a villain or a saint. He died unfinished. His life leaves us with a question that still echoes today. Is freedom something you beg for, or is it something you build for yourself? Thank you for watching. If you found this video valuable, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.